So this is a project I just finished. This heater is a hot dog, 100,000 BTU in the garage. The way I mounted it was those super struts you can buy at Home Depot or Lowe's, mounted to the ceiling, and then the all thread, 3/8 all thread, screws directly into the top of that heater. And then there's a spring-loaded, like a spring-loaded T-nut that slides in those tracks that you can hang it off of. Anyway, this thing we just finished a couple days ago, and I had the gas company come in and run the gas line to it. I'll get you a better shot of that. They used 5/8 coated copper tubing from the tank outside. So it's a coated 5/8 shielded copper down to a 1/2" copper down the wall there, and feeds outside to the tank. So I had them come in and do it so that they could check for leaks, set the pressures by the manometer, and do a test fire. So anyway, this thing runs off 110 volts. So it has an exhaust system on it. The exhaust goes out through the wall. So the 110 runs the exhaust and the 18-inch fan on the back of the unit, which blows across the burners assembly. And the wall thimble is adjustable. You can fit it to a variety of thicknesses of walls. I have 2x6 walls in here, and as you can see, they're uninsulated. That's my next project, to insulate all the walls. I kind of wanted to wait till I got this plumbing in and the electrical for the heater. So I bought this thing with a regular thermostat, and you could do a fan only on that manual thermostat. So I went to Lowe's. Instead of using the manual, I took it off and went to Lowe's and got a Wi-Fi thermostat by Honeywell. So you can actually set this thing on your phone wherever you're at. So if you want to bump the temperature up before you come home, work in the garage or whatever, you can set the temperature, and you get here and it's already up to temperature. So this Wi-Fi thermostat runs off a 3-wire. The 3-wire, I can use the fan mode only. So if I wanted to run the fan in the summer, I could actually run the fan in the summer too. So anyway, this thing is 100,000 BTU. Now this garage is 800 square foot. So it was a little overkill, I think, but the ceiling in here is 14.6 high. So to make up kind of the difference in the BTUs for the 14.6 ceiling, I decided to go with 100,000 instead of 75. They said a 75,000 would do a good 3-car garage. And on the outside of the building, the exhaust runs out through the wall and exhausts outside. The thimble coming through the wall there has a 12-inch extension with a T on the end of it. And that tubing is all stainless steel, and it runs on a 1/4/12 pitch for any condensation that would get in the tube. So it runs to the outside of the building. They said I didn't really need a condensate tube with the drain on it. If I would put the 1/4 pitch in it, it would just run outside, and put the 12-inch extension on the outside, which would let it run out the end of the tube. I haven't seen anything drip out of it since it's ran, so, and it's been pretty cold. It's been down to 20 degrees here. So it was pretty easy to install. A friend of mine and I put it up one Saturday there. So back when I did the ceiling, I bought a drywall lift that goes to 16 feet. And we just set the heater weighs 125 pounds. So you can't actually lift it up to the ceiling yourself. So to get it up onto that drywall lift, which runs about 7 feet high when you have the extension on it for 16 foot, I put it on my lift. set the heater on the lift and then took it off the lift right on the top of the drywall lift and ran it up to the ceiling, which made it real easy. So if you're deciding on putting one on, you got a high ceiling, you might want to contemplate a drywall lift, rent one or whatever. If you got a lower ceiling, most drywall lifts are only capable of 9 feet. If you got anything higher, you'd have to get a taller one. Now I tried to rent one when I did the ceiling in here at local rental companies, but theirs is only 9 foot tall. So I ended up buying one from Home Depot that would get me 16 feet. Because that's a lot of panels to put up there, and to use a man lift, it would be expensive, and not only that, it'd be a nightmare. You'd be underneath the panel trying to get it up against the ceiling. So that worked out pretty good, and it worked out good for this heater. So if you got any comments about it or questions, leave them below. I know there isn't a whole lot of videos on YouTube on how to install one of these things. Anyway, I searched and searched and searched, and there's a couple good videos on there, but not a whole lot of information on them. But the Hot Dawg Heater is a well-known brand, and I have a couple friends that have them, and they've never had any issues. One guy's got one for his garage. It's probably 16 years old, and it still runs fine. So if you got any comments or questions, leave them below there, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.